Well, good morning, everybody. We are wrapping things up here at Edgewood, and we are on our way to Patton, just south of Memphis. It's a Corps of Engineers recreational area, and we will hopefully have a nice and safe trip along the road, and we'll catch up here with you when we get to Patton. Stay tuned. Well, hello everybody. This is Reagan, your RV traveler's voice, and coming to you from Patton recreation area here on the west side of Lake Arcabutla on this sunny but rainy day. Got a mix of sun and rain. We arrived here a little bit early, so we're pulled over here and parked, going to have some lunch, and then when our site becomes available, we'll get all set up and be back to you. Stay tuned. Well, we're here at the Patton area, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers campground and recreation area. We're going to take you a walk through the various campsites and recreation area as well. Let you have a look at it. Let us know if you have any questions, any feedback, any comments. Stay tuned as we walk around. As we make our way down into the campground area, you'll notice check-in 4, check-out 2. And right here is the main gate. It is unattended, so online reservations and self-check-in are appropriate here at this campsite. Now, the campground has 2 sections. Over here on the right, the check-in goes down into a little cul-de-sac and a turnaround, and the same thing to the left. Sites 21 and higher on this side. As we make our way down into this first section, we'll start with all the sites on the right as you make your way in. This is site number 1, a relatively short but level campsite, full hookups. And next to the bathhouse, you have site number 2, a longer back end site, not near to anybody, no other near neighbors, and you face out into the woods. And the bathhouse on this loop, your typical Corps of Engineers site bathhouse. As we come up to site number 3 and onward down this loop, you'll see just an overview how tightly stacked in they are here. So you will be close to your neighbors, and this is campsite number 3. And number 4, equally as close. Nice level site. And number 5 here, unoccupied, with your picnic table, fire ring in the back. Starting with 6 in the next several sites, it's going to be a little bit hard to see because they are very close with lots of vehicles here. So we'll give you as best look as we can. And likewise number 7. Picnic tables directly behind campsite as you are very close to your nearby neighbors. And campsite number 8, a little bit more privacy. As out here at front, there are no more campsites as you make your way down the loop. And down from number 8 is just a cul-de-sac turnaround out on the point. And while there is water down here at this end point, as well as electric, this was presumably campsites at once, but number 9 and 10, but they are no longer available. It says no camping. And making our way back up, campsite number 11. This little octane backed in there. You'll see they are still rather close to your nearby neighbors. And coming up to campsite number 12. Our long back end site. And campsite number 13 here. Back tucked in. A little more privacy from the neighbors out front, but you are facing into their picnic table. Site number 14 with this pop-up here. A little picnic pad out front and your picnic table behind you. And here we are at site number 15 with the tent. A picnic table out here in front of you as well. Number 16 here, we'll back in site with this Winnebago. Picnic tables behind you, directly behind you. And 17 here with this big rig, picnic table sitting right behind you as well. The empty site here. Picnic table there back behind you as well. So little odd layouts for these with the picnic tables behind your rigs. Number 19 has a bit more space between it and the nearest neighbors, but your picnic table, got one over here behind you, and looks like at one point in time they did have a fire ring there in front of you as well. But you do have a little space between the neighbors. It is quite the drop-off out the front door though. And site number 20 here, coming down the loop, last one on this little section, the right-hand section. Little hookups as well, back in sight. And you have the most privacy from your neighbors here. No real near neighbors behind you, and none in front of you. And site 21 here, this big fifth wheel. Picnic table behind you, and just to the rear as well. So a couple of picnic tables for site number 21. And site number 21, a little short back end site. Here we come up on site number 23. A little more room between neighbors here. A nice concrete pad out front and a tent pad in back. And site 24, back in sight as well. Picnic table down behind you. One thing about these first few sites in the second part of the loop is they are right along the main road. Cars coming around the corner there. Making our way on down this section, we have site number 25. Relatively short site. Here coming on around the loop. And we have number 26 as well. We're back in sight here on the loop. As we come to site 27, we'll give you a picture coming down into this loop to see how tightly they are packed down through here as well. One right after the other. This is site number 27. Back in sight. All of these are back in sites. You have full hookups though. Site 28 with this big fiver here. And number 29 here. Site 30. And 31. Tightly placed down through here. Site 32. Moving on down. Of that. Number 33. That's your picnic table. Kind of right next to the other picnic table for the other neighbor. Site 34. As mentioned, tight to the picnic tables. But it is the last one on this turn here. I'll show you a little bit about it. cul-de-sac down here at the end where we come to the lake. I'll hit both sides of the sites as we go down through here. We are very tight. It's a very narrow road to make it down through here. So, Patton 35 with this picnic table behind you. 36 here. Howdy. All right. Inside the loop we have site 37 as well. Site 38 here on the outside of the loop. It's kind of tight in here. And looking back on this side, it is open. At one point in time, there are probably more campsites here that have since been removed. So we do have a nice opening on the last one on the outside of this loop. Site 39 on the inside here. Picnic table's kind of up the hill. And we start back up at 43. Work our way on the inside of the loop. Picnic table up the front behind. Site 44 here. Outside. And overlooking this view of the lake. Yeah, site number 45 as well. And here on the outside, site number 46. And let's face out onto the lake. We are, this is our scheduled site, but someone's here for the time being. As soon as they get moved, we'll be backed into there. And just adjacent to 46 is tent site 51. It's kind of here in the front yard of site number 46. This here is site 52. This is 53. With the picnic table behind it. Site 54 here on the inside. Site 55 has the picnic table behind it. And a nice concrete pad in front of it. This is site number 56. Has a nice view of the lake. And here we are at 57. And this one does have a little facility beside it. Not sure what that's all about. Site 50, site number 58 on the inside. A little ravine behind it. Got here on the inside of the loop. And coming up on 59. Picnic tables behind it. A little short uphill site. And come to the bathhouse for this section. It's between sites 60 and the other sites. And we're here at site 60. Back in site, interesting that you'll have cars parked right into your site here. And not sure I see anything other than water on this site. 61 coming up here, all your camp area out here in front on the road. And site 62, sign there laying on the ground, but that is what it is, site 62. And the good thing about it, you really don't have any out front neighbors. You do have some neighbors along the back as well as you look back down this section. And this is what looks like it used to be site 63, and now people are using it as a parking area. So don't try and reserve site 63 unless you're trying to reserve a parking spot. 64 has its picnic table and everything out amongst the trees there in the back. And it does have a nice pad out in front of it as well with a picnic table and a grill. 65 here, another picnic table out in the woods. And a nice long pad with more picnic areas in front. And last but not least, site 66. Here, on the road. This may be a camp post site. Seems like it's pretty substantial. I've been here for quite a while. And one thing about Patton, it has a number of day use areas, picnic tables, overlooking the lake as well. So, something to think about. They also have a number of covered pavilions and playground areas here for the kiddos too. And you see another Corps of Engineers site across the way. There are several Corps of Engineers sites on this lake. We've also camped at Hernando Point, also an excellent place to camp on the lake. And as well here at Patton, they have a good boat ramp here and dock. And right across from the restroom facility here as well. And just up from the boat ramp, we have another day use area. Large pavilion there for rental as well. All with great access to the lake in the background. And this is another of the day use areas with picnic tables, large grills, playground, and a large covered pavilion there with restrooms in the background. All right, we're finally sort of set up here at campsite number 46 with Ethel, you see here, and Fred over there in the parking space. Normally we'd have Fred right here with us, but there's no room for parking, and definitely can't leave the truck here at the end of the rig. So that's one of the negatives. The positive, it has a fantastic view here of the lake, and there are no neighbors to your right. There are neighbors right out the front door. There is a tent site kind of back here in the woods marked that'll be basically right out your front door. And the people that were here before us, they left a mess. They decided to just park their vehicle down here and when leaving, they basically tore everything up getting out of the mud because it rained just a little bit, and they slung mud all over everything. Definitely weren't being thoughtful of the next campers, because they basically slung mud over everything and left. So anyway, we have a little bit of mud. If you're thinking about renting this site, then keep that in mind, that you do have a big hole here, and looks like when it rains it'll be very muddy. On the positive side, you do have easy access to the lake. Kind of the negative side is this is the access to the lake for everybody here on this loop, so they all walk through your campsite all on the way down to the point to fish. And someone's set up a hammock here right behind us, which is okay. The thing is, to get to it, you all have to walk right through the campsite. So anyway, just be aware if you rent this site, that's what you'll be in for here at Site 46. And one other feature of this site, while looks can be deceiving in that it's supposed to be a level site, but actually side to side is about 4 inches off level, 3.5 to 4 inches. And front to back, I have lowered my rig all the way to the ground on the tongue, as far as it'll go, and my Level Mate Pro says I've still got 8 inches to go. We are 8 inches high on the front, so it is definitely not level front to back. Keep that in mind. Now, of course, I do have a little bit more kit there as far as a hitch, but even if I take that off, it will not get to level, so I'd have to roll the back wheels up onto some blocks and then lower it from there. So we're just going to put up with it for a while and see how it works.